Alright, welcome back. V.O.C. Miscellaneous Monday. Let's jump right into it. Alright, a lot of crazy shit happened this weekend, especially up here in East Lansing, EL, whatever you like to call it. It was fucking nuts. You can tell from the title of this video. If you haven't seen the videos, it is nuts. It is wild what happened after the win against Michigan. I'll talk more about that obviously on Thursday, but I'm just going to talk about, the aftermath of it and what it was kind of like up here. It was wild. It was fun. It was one of those things where, barring, the people's cars getting smashed and shit like that, definitely I'll look back on this in 20 years and be like, wow, I remember where I was when that game happened and, how much fun it was up here, because it really was fun. Went out, hung out with some friends. We went to the Barstool pregame show. That was fucking electric. One of the craziest things ever. If you know me, big stoolie. It's on my laptop, wherever it is. So that was electric. There was so many people there. Barstool said it was probably the biggest crowd they've ever had for one of their football pregame shows, which was, it was electric. So many people up here. Obviously, a lot of MSU people, a lot of U of M people too. It's close. It's a big rivalry. People are going to come to watch it, and it did not disappoint. Great game. Like I said, I'll go in more to the game on Thursday when I talk college football, but look, it was fun. I drank about a whole case of Kirkland Seltzer. It was fun. It was big time, I got chirped for drinking Kirkland Seltzer, and, I had to give it back to a guy, come on, dude. 100 calories per bottle. I'm going to sip these down all day, all right? Watching the way here, the guy didn't say much after that. He tried chirping me. Doesn't work out for you, buddy. Shut that shit up real quickly, It was cold. I was told I was the coolest looking guy up here because of my hair and my mustache. Look, I get it. Okay, I know. The guy was, he told me I was the most badass motherfucker up here. Get it. I am. It's the truth. Have you seen her lately? It's looking good. Looking real fucking good. But, it's just what I am, the coolest fucking guy up here. I didn't burn any couches. Like I said, Barstool's thing was at Cedar Village. Cedar Village is where they burn the couches. So when we were there before the game, obviously they weren't burning couches yet. But I did not partake in burning a couch, flipping any cars, none of that shit. After the game, I came home, passed out in my chair, got ready to watch the Fighting Irish, my beloved Fighting Irish, and I did that. I accomplished my goal. It was Halloween this weekend. I think that was also why I was nuts. I didn't go out for Halloween. Not a big dress-up guy. Don't really do that shit. But, like I said, it was electric. Campus was a little quiet today when I went to class. Obviously, you would have thought it probably was going to be. But, like I said, all in all, it was a fun weekend. Had a lot of fun. Beat Michigan. That's all that matters. And like I said, this is one of those experiences in life where I'll look back on 20, 30 years and be like, when I was in college, I remember, this game, this weekend. That was it was so much fun. It was really electric. Great time. Half the shit I don't remember from the weekend, but you know what? All that matters is had fun, MSU won, didn't get hurt. I'm a little sore. I don't know why, but, figuring it out. A lot of walking, that's probably why. All right, now move on to the World Series here. Braves are up 3-2. Look, I said the Braves are going to win in 6. They lost last night 9-5. The series now goes back to Houston for tomorrow. They get a day off for travel. I thought the Braves would have lost Game 4, but they won Game 4. They were up 3-1, had a chance to clinch it last night for the World Series, didn't get it done. They didn't have their best pitchers on the mound last night. So, it happens. When you don't have your best pitchers on the mound, it's not going to work. They kind of had a bullpen game. It happens. I still believe they'll win in 6. I believe they'll win tomorrow night. To me, they're the hotter team. And right now, that's kind of all that matters. They came into the postseason with the least amount of wins at 88 out of any postseason team, but they're still very talented. And they're doing this without their best player. Ronald Acuna is their best player and a top 5 player in baseball. It's the truth. But they continue to do it because they still have a lot of star power. They were riddled with a lot of injuries. Their whole outfield is completely different than what it was. So they are slowly building it back up. And, Freddie Freeman hit a home run last night. They can get him to continue to go into this next game, Game 6. They should easily win this. And I don't care for the fucking cheating Astros and their trash can banging motherfucker and whistleblowing. I hate them. But I think the Braves are playing better, and I think that they will win. I mean, it is what it is. It is wild. But I think this has been one of the more entertaining World Series. I've seen, if you've seen the ratings, they're way up from last year. I think that has something to do with the Astros being in it. Just because people fucking hate the Astros and they're going to go watch the Astros to hopefully watch them lose. So, I mean, but it's good for baseball. Baseball is, without a doubt, it's moved to it's not a national sport anymore. It's a regional. So, I think it's one of those things, but it looks like it's doing very well, this World Series, and that's good for the sport because it is a really fun sport to watch, and baseball playoffs are really fun to watch. So, continue on to the trend. If this continues, baseball could slowly maybe build some momentum back up to really solidify themselves as, look, we are a premier league in sport, but I don't know. Baseball always shoots itself in the foot. They'll figure out some way to fuck it up. But as of right now, they've done very well, and it's been really fun to watch. Move on to the NBA. Don't have really much to talk about the NBA just because, look, I'm not going to sit here and digress every game and, boom, boom. I saw KD got kicked out of a game. I'm not going to go blabber, screaming A over. I don't give a shit. It's fucking now November. The NBA season just started. I'll periodically talk about some headlines. But, I'm not going to sit here and fucking break down game to game of like, oh my God. That's not what you do in the NBA. You don't really start talking the NBA till about Christmas, and you don't talk about the NBA. You talked about the NBA Christmas Day, the day after. You don't talk about it again until the All-Star game, and then you talk about it the day after, and then you don't talk about it again until about a week and a half, 2 weeks before the playoffs. That's when you really start to ramp up. So I'm not going to sit here and digress. But I will talk about some headlines. Zion Williamson is still out. He looks to be out for another 2 to 3 weeks. He fractured his foot. Look, if you know me, I think Zion's a good player. He's not going to win you any games. So, his absence, I mean, it's going to hurt the Pelicans, but, does it hurt the Pelicans or does it hurt him as a player? I've seen some photos. Fucker is huge, and he is jacked, but he's also fucking huge. His neck might just be as big as my fucking thighs, and I have some pretty big, thick fucking thighs. So he's continued to be out for another 2 to 3 weeks. That hurts the NBA because he is a premier player in the NBA. He's a premier superstar. Like I said, he's one of those guys that I don't think is going to win you games per se. He's not going to win you a championship as the number one guy, but he's got star power, pizzazz, and his fucking dunks are electric. I will say that. Guy can fucking jump out of the gym. So we'll continue to see how that progresses, and when he does come back, we'll see what he looks like. And then the last thing I'll talk about, this was maybe one of the craziest fucking things I've seen, and it's not being talked about, I think, enough. I don't know if this was like just a coincidence or, this guy, because it was Halloween, fucking dressed up and looked just like him, but there was double LeBrons last night in Staples Center. It was fucking crazy to watch. You got to go on Twitter, Google double LeBron. Some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. LeBron fucking did a windmill dunk under the backboard. And then they panned to a view of like LeBron just standing there. And there was a fucking guy directly behind LeBron sitting there eating popcorn in the stands. And he looked just like him. It was fucking terrifying. He looked just like him. I've never seen some shit like that. So I don't know if it was like Halloween. It just like that guy dressed up as LeBron and he looked just like him, or what? But it was fucking nuts. It's like, to me, this is like should be one of the most talked about things in sports, and like nobody's talking about it. So I don't know. I just thought it was fascinating. If you look it up, it is wicked. I just didn't see. It's just like one of those things that you just don't think is going to happen, and it happens. Like, it was double LeBron last night at, the Staples Center. The Lakers would fucking really love to have double LeBron. Like, if that guy could play basketball and call himself Jabron or something like that, and put him on the court, put those two together. I don't know. It was just one of the most wicked things I've ever seen. Could be a coincidence. Could be probably because it was Halloween. Guy dressed up just like him to go watch the game. But, I don't know. Like I said, that's going to wrap it up. Not to talk about much here, Miscellaneous Monday. Kind of slow-ish a little bit. Like I said, World Series is still going on. They play tomorrow night. We're going to talk about NFL tomorrow. A lot of shit's happening in the NFL. We'll break a lot of that down tomorrow on NFL Tuesday here on the V.O.C. But that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching.